Hello.
Good evening.
We are excited that you have decided to join us on today for Testimony
Yes,
Tuesday.
we are welcome.
Every Tuesday that you join us is an absolute blessing. And so we are excited that you are tuning in and joining us on today. We have a super special guest that we're going to bring up in just a second. But every Testimony Tuesday, we just do this to let people know that the Lord is still working miracles. He's still God.
He's still good.
He's still good, even in
Yep.
the midst of things that people go
Yeah.
through. God is still God, and He's still good. And so
Yeah, and
this is
trouble don't
just.
last always.
It does not last always. So
Yep.
this is a platform to just share the goodness of the Lord. And the scripture that we use is Revelations 12. And I'll do verse 11 today. And it says that, and they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is so much power in the testimony. And so we know that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so we decided not only to share about breast cancer awareness, because we think that everyone should be aware of cancer, period, no
Yeah.
matter what kind of cancer it is. And so on today, we have a survivor who is joining us on today. And so I am going to bring her up. Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So we have Kathy Smart with us on today. And I am so excited to have Kathy because Kathy has literally been in my life since the fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
Fourth
my
grade,
goodness.
all the way
Okay.
back to
Oh.
LB Yancey.
Okay.
I feel like we need to sing the song.
I remember
Oh
it.
my
I
goodness.
sing it all the time when I go by there. Sing it. The kids are like, really? I'm like, oh.
I'm telling you, we were laughing not long ago. Like LaShawn and I, we sometimes on the phone and we'll just start LB Yancey is our school.
LaShawn,
Shout hooray, hooray. Hey, LaShawn.
My Kathy.
And so it is so awesome. So Kathy is not only special because we've known each other for so long, but Kathy is also special because her dad was one of my favorite teachers. And I'm telling you what, Mr. Caps English class was the absolute best.
Mr. Caps was your dad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my
Yeah, we
gosh,
love
the
Mr.
great
Caps. Yeah.
Mr.
Oh,
Caps.
he's a mess.
He loved his class. And I'm telling you what, they had, I don't even know who fixed the schedule. Maybe it was Miss Taylor. That was my friend Andre's mom. But I'm telling you what, they had me, LaShawn, Jocelyn, LaShawn, I don't even remember who else was in that class with us. Talina, like it was like all of us in one class.
So Mr. Caps, did he teach at Vance Senior High?
He taught at Vance before they split. Yeah, he taught junior 11th grade. And then when Southern opened, he was at Southern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
LaShawn said the whole crew was in there, and that is absolutely right. So we had the best time with Mr. Caps. I'm telling you, the best time. The Caps family is super special to me and all of my friends because we absolutely love them. But Kathy is married to Mr. Rob Smart. They have been married for 22 years. They have 3 beautiful children. And so we love them. And look, I'm so tickled because Wandra is on tonight.
Hi, Miss Taylor.
She did not do it on purpose. We're in there together. So
Oh, that's so funny.
I love it. I'm telling you. But it worked that way. And I think because the way we did it, like we tried for the same classes, we signed up for the same class because you could take advanced class or I think general or something like that. And so we were really in the same group, taking those classes. So that's really what happened. But Wandra, we are excited to have you on tonight too, and everybody else who is tuning in and joining with us. We love everybody. But Kathy, you have such an amazing story, and so I've been following you for a bit. And tell us what life was like before you found out news that really changed your life.
Well, Ayana, I've always been super, super blessed. I've never really had to go anything super hard. My family, of course, you guys know them. They're just amazing people. We just kind of laugh a lot about a lot of things. We just always try to see the positive thing. Rob and I have 3 amazing kids, and they're very special. We are very close. We do lots of things together. We're very family oriented. So we just have a good time. I have a really good set of, relationships with, circles of friends, past friends, present friends, teacher friends. So we make a good point of trying to stay as much in each other's lives and be, and have a good time. And so like I said, everything was normal. Everything was fine. I had a senior, Bobby was a senior. And it was just starting off to be a really busy year with school. The kids had just come back after COVID. So they had finally come back into class. And so like the masks were finally kind of coming off, and no, I'm sorry, the masks were still on, but we were back in class and we were doing stuff. So it was just kind of normal there for a little bit.
Gotcha. So life is normal. And then what happens to make you even check for anything? Tell us your story.
Well, I realized like for about a week, my stomach just kind of looked weird. And then just everything just was pushed out. It just didn't look right. And I started having a lot of pain in my stomach. So it was in the middle of the night, and I called the doctor and I said, what do I do? And they said, go to the ER and just get checked out. And so as soon as I went in, I went and they did a CAT scan, and then they came rushing back in and said, hey, who's your doctor? Who's your OB doctor? And I was like, what are you guys talking about? Like I had Daisy in 2010, and then I had to have a hysterectomy. So I didn't even really go to like a specialized doctor anymore, just because. And so I was just like, I get my yearly checkups. Everything's been fine. What are you talking about? And they're like, you have a really large tumor in your stomach, and we don't know which ovary it's coming from. So with that being said, I just was sitting there and I'm like, no, I don't. And so I was kind of arguing with them. I'm like, well, yeah, you do. And they said it's really big, and so we really need to know. And I'm just sitting there. And so Rob had left to check in at work because, it's the ER and you don't know how long you're going to be in there. And so he came back. And so the one doctor came in, and he was very sweet. He was a retired doctor, but he came in there and he just kind of said, I'm just going to go on and tell you it's cancer. I can't tell you that 100%, but it's cancer. And the whole time I'm just sitting there like, no, it's not. And he's like, yes, it is. I argue with all of them. And all I kept saying was, this is Bobby's senior year. Like, I don't have time for this. Like, this is not, it didn't even occur to me that it could kill me. It was just more like it was a nuisance. Right. And so, I just kind of said, well, what do I do? Like, I don't understand. So, they kind of walked me through, and that doctor actually called me when I got home from the hospital, from the ER, and checked on me again. And I had been having a hard time getting into the Duke specialist, and he called for me, and he's like, nope, I got you. So he called and got me in. I got seen. And so it just kind of like really went fast at that point. I had surgery the very next week, and it was very invasive, very, they did a lot of things, but when they were in there, they said, well, there's cancer cells in your stomach. So with that being said, they got the tumor out, they took everything else out, but they said you are going to need, you're going to have chemo to kill whatever's in there. So that was kind of shocking, but the whole experience, they made me go through the ER by myself. I mean, not the ER, the surgery by myself. Rob, at that time, no one was letting anybody in with surgery. So I had to go through the whole ordeal by myself, and my surgery kept getting pushed because it was taking them a really long time. So I was sitting in the waiting room for about 8 hours by myself. I did find some very sweet ladies that were in there, and they kind of, waited with me because for whatever reason they were in there. So we, got to talking and stuff, and that kind of kept my mind off everything. I did kind of think for a minute, okay, like I just kept thinking to myself, this can't be how you do it. But I kept praying. I was like, well, hopefully, something's going to happen. They're going to let Rob come in. They didn't, but these ladies were there to help me and talk to me and stuff. And then when they took me to the back, they were just like, it's going to be about a 5-hour surgery, and you may not see your husband tonight. He may have to come back tomorrow. And I said, that's not acceptable. I need my one person there that's supposed to be there. And so a lot of praying, a lot of crying. I refused to let them put me under until they promised me that I would see Rob. And they said, okay. So it was, and then the surgery, everything went fine. The surgery went fine. I was in the hospital for about 6 days. And then when I got home, we had a couple of struggles. Like I had to go back in. But then, my family just really is just amazing. My parents are just incredible people. They just are who I aspire to be. And then, my kids just took excellent care of me, and Bobby ended up optioning to spend his whole senior year at home with me. So Rob didn't have to take off any work. What 18-year-old kid's going to do that? So he's just pretty special. So that was really, comforting to have him. And then once I started chemo, the whole process was hard because they wouldn't let anybody go with me. I had to do it all by myself because still at the time they hadn't loosened up on the restrictions. So the nurses were fabulous. The ladies were fabulous. The patients, just to see some of them come in and, I was doing okay. And then I was always super positive. I'm just like, you know what, guys, like Bobby's graduating this year. I got a lot to do. They said once chemo's done, I should be in the clear. And that was just kind of, my big goal was I just had to have a goal. I just had to say, hey, Bobby graduates in June and his party's in July. This is all I really want to get to. This is what I just, need to focus on, a short-term goal. And that's what I did. And then that just kind of kept me super in the present, I wasn't thinking down the line. I just said, just let me get through, all of this. Let me get through July, because my last chemo was in July, right before his party. So with that, I handled everything very well with that. I just made incredible connections with some people that, really had a hard time with everything. And the patients that had been in there several times, it was really hard to see some of them kind of go through that, because I started getting scared. And because the whole time I kept going, hey, I'm doing all right. Like, God's got me. We're good. And then my very last session, there was a lady that came in, and she was younger than I was. And hers had already metastasized all over, and her husband was with her, and she was trying so hard to be such a good sport. And I didn't cry for me. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I cried for her. I just was amazing to see someone. But you could tell she was putting on that brave face, and she was trying to be calm, and she was just, and it's just amazing the kind of strength that, you can put on for other people, because I'd never cried. The only time I cried was when they told me that, if she opened me up and it was everywhere, there was nothing you could do. That was the only time that I got upset. But I just told her, even when she said it again right before the surgery, I'm like, well, we're not even going to go there. Like, you're going to get that thing in there and just take it out. I'm like, yank out everything else that you need to and just go. And so she was, she's like, okay, that's a good attitude to have. So, and every time I go in there, I just said, well, we're not doing anything negative. Just tell me all the positive. I don't want to hear, So it really kind of kept it, I laugh about everything. So it kind of kept everything, like, we tried to keep everything light and funny. I didn't let on to my family that, there were times that I was really kind of nervous and scared with with chemo, some days I didn't feel the greatest. And so, but then even when I was feeling really rotten and I was crawling up steps to try to get in my bed, my son is running up and down the steps, making fun of me, going, "Come on, Mom, speed it up." And that's the kind of family that we are. But it made it funny, and it made it make me feel good. And it made it, so you just have to laugh. If you don't laugh, then, you're going to cry, and I'd rather laugh. So, but yeah. And then it's just been ever since then, every day is better. I have to go every 3 months. My anxiety gets a little high every 3 months because the way that I found it was kind of crazy. And then, my son is the trip. But yeah, my husband, he just tells me not to worry. And I try not to for the most part. I feel like I'm fine. But then there are times where, I'm just like, oh, I feel a little twinge. I feel like something's wrong. And then, so you always kind of have that anxiety going on. But this year Hayden graduates. And again, I ain't got time for anything. So it's like, you can't find anything else because I don't have time for it. So that's just kind of how we just kind of look at things. We just try to stay in the moment. And, I know if things are going to go weird, then I've got the most incredible support system to go through this. I got to actually talk to Ayana. I haven't talked to you in forever. And so you guys, she and Talina and LaShawn sent me these beautiful flowers. And then I got to call you guys to thank you. And I just, Ayana, you are so amazing. And I was telling my son about you guys, and I told them that I've never known anybody as close to God as you two. You two are my spiritual people that I don't know anybody. My grandma might be the only other person that I could honestly say, I feel like you guys just personally know God the way that you guys are and how you've gone through everything you've gone through. And so I just always say people have it worse than I do. So I'm going to be okay. And no matter what life hands me, I'm going to be fine. So I have my family, I have my kids, I have an incredible job. I love my job. I love teaching. The kiddos are great. I actually have hurt my arm. I came in with a sling today, and these little kids that could be some of the, little kids that just want to be super tough, and they walk around. As soon as they saw me, they ran over to me. "Are you okay?" Just super sweet. And so that's amazing. So, oh, thank you, Miss Perry. Yeah. It's good to see you. I just, and everybody always talks to me about you're so brave and you're so worried. I'm like, you guys didn't see me behind the scenes, but it's all about being positive. And I was telling Ayana that I got my survivor banner when I had my walk. And to me, when I did the walk a couple weeks ago, the amount of support that I see, even the other ladies, all the other patients and stuff that have, is really, it comes down to you guys. It comes down to the families. I didn't get through this by myself. I had such an amazing support people. And those are the people that God put in my life. And that's why I know. So I know that I have, my mom and dad and my sister and brother, and then my husband's family in Ohio they're just so amazing. And and then, like I said, I have all my friends, and I have my teacher friends, and I had my school took care of my school. We didn't have to feed. I didn't have to cook any the whole time that I was out with, from March to June. My school, the teachers all donated food, sent pizza, sent, it was just, it's just amazing. So I was very blessed with that. So yeah.
Wow. There we go. That is an amazing, amazing testimony. Wow.
It is. Kathy, there is so much that we would like to celebrate concerning yourself. So we celebrate your bravery, especially your support team.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yes. During the times, I heard you say there were some times that you didn't feel quite, but you didn't, you were trying to protect them, and they're trying to take care of you. You know, that is so brave of you to do that, and it's thoughtful. And
And your son.
yeah. So we are firm believers in God. We're
Absolutely.
firm
Mhm.
in His Word. You know, when God said that He would never leave you nor forsake you. So during that time that you wanted your husband and you refused, you know what I'm saying, until they
Yeah.
gave you that, you know, so God had people in place to help ease your mind until that was able to, you know, to come to pass. But you are so brave. We are proud of you. And
Absolutely.
man,
Oh,
that
What a
is yeah,
wonderful, wonderful.
yes.
And I hear you talk about your son. Who does that?
right. I know. And I told him, I'm like, you can go back to school. And he's like, no, I got you, Mom. I got you. So, I mean, he's, just such a, all three of my kids. I mean, I'm when like Hayden's the one that's running up and down the steps, making me laugh. Just, so they each had a job. Like they each had, like Bobby is my nurturer and he was taking care of me. Hayden's my goofball and he's making me laugh. And then Daisy's just my snuggler and just making sure that I was okay. So it's just they just were really just amazing and they were just amazing to really can you say the Hayden? This is my senior Hayden. Can you get down? He can't see you, buddy. This is the one.
Yes, congratulations.
What's up?
He's at the congratulations. They can't hear you, but
Thank you.
congratulations. Yeah, so it was, like I said, they still do that. I mean, they still, are concerned about, like Bobby had to take me to the doctor the other day because I couldn't drive, and he's like, "I got you, Mom," and it's very, I'll never let him leave. But I just, he's 19, and I'm like, you can never leave me. But yeah, they do such a good job. So and then Rob is, he works so hard for us, and he just does a really amazing job. Like, he's an awesome husband, and we have such a good time, and entertains me because there's times where I'm like, let's go do something, and he's like, no, but so.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is so amazing. God is
is.
so good. And
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
shows that He is still healing. He's still, he's
Yep.
still doing it. He's still working
Yep.
on our behalf. And so that is such a blessing. And the cancer you had was ovarian.
Ovarian, yeah. So September is ovarian cancer month, but October is very special because I do know people that are struggling with breast cancer as well. So, it's every month it seems like there's a different cancer, and, no month is more important than the other.
Right.
And I even talked to the students at school about what it means to, because they know cancer. I mean, the grandparents, parents.
Right.
So we just try to be as open about everything. Just wanted to show you real quick. Say hi. That's Bobby.
Hello.
There's Bobby.
Hey.
Bobby, everyone loves you. Well,
What?
but there's
Everyone loves you.
Yay!
He's very excited. Bobby, tell Daddy to come here when he gets me. Yeah, but yeah, so it's just, I don't know. I think it's really important that, I mean, I don't want to scare little kiddos like about, but I want them to see, like, guys, yeah, I mean, sickness is scary. Cancer is definitely scary, but not everyone's going to die from it. Not everybody, you can survive it. The kiddos that I had the year when I lost my hair, they cried. And I'm like, why are you guys crying? And they're like, because you lost your hair. And I'm like, it's just hair. It'll grow back. Like, we're not worried about that. So it was just very sweet. There's Rob.
Hi,
Hello.
Rob.
Hey.
How are you?
How you doing?
We were just
can't hear
speaking
them
about
like
how
this.
amazing you and your family are and all of their
Sorry, I can't, with her computer, I can't hear.
Can you hear?
Wait a second. I've lost I can't see the whole. Oh, hush. Oh, Lord. What did I do? Sorry. Can you hear me?
All right.
Sorry.
There you
Hello.
go. Hello. So we were talking about Kathy's amazing support system
Yes.
and how you all have just been such a blessing.
Yeah.
That's a blessing because that's sad to say, but some people don't have that support system. And when you're going through like that, to have people in your corner that
Mhm.
you know love and care and are rooting for you and fighting for you and taking care of you, it's a blessing. So
It
you
is.
are to be included as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't have made it without him. So
I'm sure it was smart for you as well.
Yeah, we had to keep her around. We can't be having. We can't take care of all this by ourselves.
See, this is how we do it.
I love it.
But nah, she was a rock, and it was tough. And probably more for me than it was for her, which is not saying much. But it was she was good. And easy to take care of, and just the outpouring and support from friends and family, and it was great to it was a little odd because we're not one to ask much of others, or so when people were just showing up with food or just little gifts, or it was just like just amazing to see the people do that and come together to help us.
Yes.
Wow. Very good.
There are still great people out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we definitely can testify to that. So
Yes.
that is such a blessing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Such a blessing.
Yep.
Well, Kathy, your story is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, sweet family. Telling you, I love it. There is nothing like it. So I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
So we appreciate. Now we have met everybody, but your daughter, where is she?
Yeah. I don't. Daisy, come here. They were eating, so they were in there, all in the kitchen. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Apparently, they don't eat every hour. Come here.
Yeah. Daisy's doing what we're about to do.
Yeah, I know, right? Daisy, come say hey to everybody. Hello.
She's so
Hi.
beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Just say hey.
Hello.
hi, Daisy. We have met your brother, so we wanted to meet you as well.
Oh. I got you. Yeah, she's the calm one out of the three, so she's good. So.
Daisy, how old are you?
I'm 12. I turned 13 in February, so
Gotcha. All right.
Just
so
picked
Kathy-
up her report card. She got straight A's. What?
Good job, Daisy.
Yeah.
Thank
Where are
you.
in?
I'm in 7th grade.
Oh, nice. That is
Yeah.
huge.
She's at Vance Charter.
Oh.
Tamala Anderson. She's there. Yeah, so she'll be her teacher next year, right? she's in high
yeah,
school
she's
now.
math 1.
She's math one. Okay, I got it.
Nice.
But just wait.
So, Kathy, your cat even jumped in, so we have met the entire
Yeah,
family.
you have. That's Molly. Yes.
Wow. So God is so good. Thank you
Yes.
for sharing your testimony.
Yes.
For those, because like you said, there are so many different cancers.
There is, and like I said, I would have never made it through with the support. Like it wasn't, everybody's like, oh, you're so like, and I was like, guys, it's you. And I said that I had to do a speech at the walk, and I said, this is all for you guys. Like the walk is celebrating the survivors, but to me, I wanted everybody to go so I could celebrate you for like, you're the ones that got me through it. That was, I wanted to make sure that I just wanted to make sure that, people knew how much support means. Like you said, those people that don't have that support, it's really scary and it's really hard. And it has opened me. I've always tried to be a good, like giving person, but now I am kind of like, my eyes have been open and I need to do more. I need to reach out to other people that could be going through something, because I'm very blessed. I've always been very blessed with my family and, my life. And I feel like it's okay to like pay it forward and like make sure that, other people can have that. So And maybe, I will say that every now and then I'm like, I don't think I'm doing enough for God. I don't think I'm doing enough what I'm supposed to do. So I do question, like, I need to like get better and do that kind of stuff. But then I keep waking up every day, so I feel like I'm doing something good. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And no matter how much we do for God, we could never repay him for all
No.
that he's done
Yeah.
for us.
Right.
So that's a blessing. And so we want to remember those who are going through the struggle now. They found out this news, they're going through chemo, somebody's maybe feeling down about it. Before we get off on tonight, Kathy, will you just maybe encourage someone, or what would you say to that person who has just found out they have cancer or in the middle of their treatments? What would you say to them?
Well, actually, one of my close friends at school just found out that she's got breast cancer. And so I told her that, she was freaking out, which rightfully so. Like, you hear that cancer word and it's awful. But I told her, I said, the first thing you need to do is just stop and breathe, because I promise, like, you know what, you're going to get through it, because you got me, you got the school, we got you. I said, and you don't overreact, and don't look up anything on Google or WebMD. Don't do that. But, just take it day by day. The worst thing I think they do is make you wait a really long time sometimes. Like, even a day can be a really long time when you hear certain words. But you just got to kind of have faith and just say, okay, you know what? There's nothing you can change right this minute. So prayers, exactly. Prayers. We'll pray together. We'll, I can tell you a joke. I can, we can, go get something to eat. Like, take your mind off of it. Go for a walk and just, really appreciate it. And again, I told her to have a goal. If you set a goal for yourself, it's a tiny one, like you just want to have your surgery done and be done by Christmas, or so you can enjoy your family, or, again, so you don't feel bad, or those kinds of things, or your grandson's turning 3, in February, you just want to feel good enough to go to that birthday party. That's all you really need to do. Just just set like a short goal first. And then if you do that, then it doesn't seem so overwhelming. It doesn't seem so unreachable. You know what I mean? And then as you move on, then you realize, oh, okay, so I made it to that goal. I'm gonna make another goal, and I'm gonna make another goal. And it makes it a little bit easier, because I got to Bobby's party, and then I needed to get back to school. I went back to school in that August, and it was hard at first, because you just don't have the same energy. Your body does take on a lot of changes after you go through something like that. And I have had a hard time accepting certain things. I'm getting better at it, but I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for the physical changes, but I wasn't prepared for some of the things that your body is kind of forced into unnaturally. So that's been really hard to deal with. And they don't tell you any of that. They don't tell you that your body's not going to be the same. They don't tell you once you start taking this medicine, things are going to be so, different. So, and to me, that is hard. So, those people that are, having a hard time, I will tell you, or even if you just find someone that's been through this, so they can kind of give you a heads up. So it's not such a shock, because I think I was shocked, because I didn't expect any of some of the things that happened. And then, now I'm just kind of, okay, it is what it is. And just, but it took a while, and it's not easy for someone to say, oh, you'll be fine, because you don't know that. You don't know if you're going to be fine. You just have to say, okay, this is what we do. Set a goal. Let's start, making a little plan to kind of, because if that can maybe reduce some of the anxiety, and then just have faith, keep the faith and pray, and, reach out to as many people as you can to keep you busy, keep the mind busy, and you'll do fine.
I love it. I love it.
I really do believe that. Like you said, they make you wait sometimes for periods of time, and that could be really hard. So when you said, like, don't stay away from Google and WebMD and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I
Mhm.
think that's some really good information right there.
Because that's
Yeah.
the first thing you
Yeah.
go to. Like
Yeah,
if
when
I,
you're waiting.
Oh yeah.
you just like, oh, this has got to be it because I feel this,
Mhm.
and so that is the first thing you go to. But so amazing, Kathy. I am so grateful that you are here with us. I saw Stacy put up rest in peace for
Yeah.
Celeste, who had transitioned earlier. Well, actually, not long ago. I guess it's been, I don't even know if it's been a month yet. Um, and then,
Mm.
and so you do have that story too, where somebody has transitioned. And I had an aunt in July, the end of July, who transitioned as well. And it's just it's a hard thing,
It
but
is.
but God is good regardless of what. And I say that through it all, God is still God and he's still good.
Well,
Through it all.
my dad's cousin, she passed away today, and she started with breast cancer, and it spread, but I called him today, and I said, Daddy, I'm really sorry about, Carol, and he goes, well, he said, baby girl, she's not in any pain anymore, so that's all you can do. So, I mean, for him to even say that, I'm just like, wow, she was the sweetest lady, and that just, made it very, yeah, okay, it's not, I mean, of course it's super sad, but I mean, it's not, I guess it makes it a little bit better knowing that she's, pain free, especially when you suffer for a really long time. It is really hard.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Kathy, thank you so much for sharing your
Yes, thank
testimony,
you.
sharing the goodness of the Lord.
Yes.
Mhm.
It just reminds us of how good God is. And so
Yeah.
thank you, everyone who joined us on tonight. Thank you for all of your great comments. Pastor Pugh, thank you for joining us. I saw that you were up here as well, and so many others. I'll miss somebody if I start calling names, but thank you all for joining us. Join us next week. We have another survivor story from who is next week? Let me tell you. Sarah. Sarah Daly is next week. And so she has another survivor story as well. So we are excited to hear her story. Kathy LaShawn says she loves you.
I saw that. I was getting ready to send her back. I love you too, LaShawn.
Thank you, Wandra. We love you. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
of course. Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Love you, Yana. Thank
Love you
you.
too. Thank you.
Bye, guys.